Gonna get started here in a moment. Just listen to a little bit of Lavender Soul. The soundtrack to my bestseller, which we will be talking about tonight, which we always do. Tonight I'm going to reveal to you the divine principle. It'll be a powerful broadcast. I put 10 plus years into this work. 10 plus years. Almost every day. 6 to 9 hours, noon till 6 p.m. or sometimes 9 at night. That's how powerful it's going to be. I'm proud of my work. Everybody hear the music okay? Say yes, music okay. Pretty please. I just want to make sure that the sound's working good. Everybody can hear okay? Welcome one, welcome all. Can everybody hear me okay? Refresh this page. Yes, 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 thank you. Whew. Sometimes Facebook gets caught in this place and it doesn't want to bring about what is current. And what is current is you. And there's a current moving through you. Maybe we can call that some sort of currency. It's already starting to move, y'all. Feel it? I feel it. There's a currency moving through you. It's a current moving through you, and it's currency. And it's valuable. And we need to begin to appreciate, to learn how to use it correctly so our value appreciates. And maybe we increase our value by appreciation. Dang. Ooh, I don't know what that was that went through me. It felt good. Almost can't contain it. So welcome, y'all. I have a very big broadcast tonight. I'm going to do a considerable amount of reading. Take one more time, look one more time in the room, see how everyone's doing. Melissa, hello. Dana, LaDonna, Keith Blanchard's here. Andrea. Good to see you folks. Okay, let me do one refresh. We're going to get started. All right, good deal. I was going to do a lot of advertising, which I should. I deserve it. Instead of doing that, I am just going to post something in the feed, the comment boxes below. All of my links to what I do. Center of Light Radio. Go to the opening page of centeroflightradio.com. You'll see a subscription form. Fill it out. Free newsletter. You begin to get free goodies from me in bundles ongoingly forever. All of my life's work. Opening page. You will also see a red Ferrari. Click on that Ferrari. It'll take you to RPM, my lifelong work, many 25 plus years of digging inside and becoming clear in many aspects of my life. Putting this down to a very usable, user-friendly system. You're not broken. It's just that I've done this particular work. And if you want to expand to greater degrees in your life, maybe I could be that example. If you want to find all of my books, all of my physical creations, on centeroflightradio.com or keithanthonyblanchard.com, go to the tab that's titled Creations. You get all that there. YouTube, Center of Light Radio. Go to youtube.com/Center of Light Radio. Join, subscribe to my page. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some comments. Help me to grow this, what I know is the light of my work. It's the light of my life. To help illuminate others who may just be drifting about in the fog of fear, which we're going to talk about tonight. People think the word fear, that's just fear. Oh, no, no, that monster is bigger than you can imagine. And I'll show you the door. And if you want to walk through it and you hesitate, I will push you in it. I can and will do that. If you have not seen the movie And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, centeroflightradio.com, keithanthonyblanchard.com, at the very bottom of the page, you'll see a big banner link that says And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth. A movie I done last year, cost you nothing. And Do What You Love, A Path to Passionate Living, a movie made about my life by Blue Cash Productions out of New York. Check it out. All there. RPM, recognize, plug in, and manifest your life. This is what this broadcast is about. Not only my work. Recognize who and what God is. How do we go about plugging into it? And the third component is pretty easy. Everything else, by natural law, just begins to happen. Manifest. Recognize, plug in, and manifest. So click on that red Ferrari. It'll take you to a page. It'll tell you what you get. It tells you what you will create, the capacity you have, the tools that you're going to be working with. Dear Lord, watch what happens. Watch what happens. Your life will begin to manifest in a holy instant. And you get one-on-one time with me to help you get even more clear about certain things you're wanting in your life. It all starts with the fertile ground of being inside. Once that ground becomes balanced and conscious, this all just changes. It can help you move through certain scenarios, certain blocks you want to move through, something you want to expand nicely into, so forth and so on. Hello, Linda. Welcome, everyone. Ooh, my energy is jumping. I haven't had this happen doing these bursts of light live at the very beginning like it is. In fact, I don't know if it's ever been to this degree. I must have picked the right topic. Hence the name of the book, The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth. Hence the name of this broadcast, The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth. And I'm going to show you that in a very solid way. Wow. No, Keith is not showboating. This actually takes place with me. Y'all gonna have to back it off for a little bit. All right, let's get started. People everywhere are living in fear of this and fear of that. Fear is not just this little inactive thing that once in a while bothers us. If it's part of our process, you are a slave. We are a slave. To the level we have not done the work to move through it. You can't get rid of it. Can't run away from it. The only way to do it is to move through it. It's not about calling you out and to ask you what fears you have. You know what fears they are. Think about them as you listen to this broadcast, and they will become visible. And now that they're visible, you can clean the slate. But if they're just running in the background like an unconscious script, they are kicking your ass in ways that you wish was not taking place. People everywhere are living in fear of this and in fear of that. From the Divine Principle, my conversation with God, for just over a year, and then the remaining years was to actually write it, shape it, live it. Spirits, I asked Spirit, am I correct in, and this is not about pushing anyone's buttons in any spiritual denomination, just hear it for the information that it is. And I asked Spirit, am I correct in saying that since the Bible is based on truth, the prophecies foretold in Revelation are going to come true? Spirit says, any prophecy in the Bible that has been and might be fulfilled, whether positive or negative, is not necessarily the vision of the prophet alone, but is shared by the many who believe it will come to pass. Yes, those who are locked into believing that a prophet is right form a mass conscious power that will support them in their convictions. This would be great if the particular vision they share has a positive outcome. But what about one with a negative outcome? Do you want the prophet to be right about that too? No, I don't. So what do we all do about that? Stop believing that any prophet knew or knows more than you do. All they have seen is where you are likely to be at some point in time and space. Hear me when I say that the God that lives, hear me when I say that the God that lived or lives in them and has enabled them to see is the same God that lives in you and enables you to see differently. Wow. And I say, I have heard some people tell me if you mess around with the supernatural, you are doing the devil's work. Spirit. Well then, I guess that makes me the devil because everything about me is supernatural, is it not? And I say completely. I'm just saying that that's just one of those things I hear from time to time from people who claim to know Scripture. It makes me want to ask, do you encourage the reading of any particular holy book? Spirit says, I say read as many as you can, my friend. Why not be well-rounded? If you are seeking God, why not jump into the hunt with everything you have? But simply reading is not enough. For what good does reading spiritual writings such as this one do if you do not experience what you have read about? Whoever remains a dabbler will never believe that my reality is obtainable. Can I share something really cool that happened to me? But of course. I stopped going to church years ago because of all the fear-filled preaching I was hearing. But a few weeks ago, this was many years ago, but a few weeks ago, I began playing music at some Sunday services, and I got really inspired by what I heard. Each time I left, I couldn't wait to go back and join with others like me who want and are getting the God of love there. Spirit says, nice, is it not? Very, because I could never relate to any of that heavy devil stuff before. That is why one should be selective about where one goes for spiritual sustenance. You see, there are some clergy who will never change their views about this subject. Why is that? Because the way they perceive God is the way they are most comfortable with. And they do not want to go through all the stuff they would have to do to come to another conclusion. These kinds of preachers can be harmful to one's spiritual growth, especially that of young people. If you see children or adolescents at a church where such a one preaches, it is likely they were dragged there, or at least were resistant to the idea of going. This is because in their innocence, it hurts them when they hear anything such as, God is vengeful, God is jealous, God is judgmental. You are going to forever burn in hell when you die if you do something wrong. But still, they are forced to listen to the separation and punishment proselytizing until they too become hypnotized and join the rest of the congregation in spiritual bereftness. There is no other way to say it. Many churches have become the petri dishes where the metaculture of fear is grown and disseminated. Thus, generation after generation, the fear of God has spread like a virus through everyone in these congregations, and that has resulted in ongoing separation and judgment. But even in churches where ministers teach unity with God, there are some in the assembly who have not yet accepted such a concept. Yes, it can be tough for my truth ministers to undo the separation imprint that has been pounded into people's heads for years. As long as people remain in such a powerless and power-sapping mindset, imploring a deity to remove their problems will do them no good whatsoever. As I have said before, spiritual beings are ready and willing to help everyone. But when you pray with no self-responsibility, you can expect your supplication to be denied. I can tell you that spiritual masters will not take over your responsibilities. What they will do is help you to become divinely empowered by moving you through the feeling that you are weak and inferior to their achievements. They burn with the passion to ignite. Wow. Let's back off. They burn with the passion to ignite the holy fire within all of you so that you can become God with them. This is not blasphemy. This is the truth, and the truth will set you free. I'm having some energies slam me uncontrollably, actually. I read all of that, even though it has a dark nature. It is of a light spirit to supply information with the intention of liberation. So it completely just turned the dark over on its end to something beautiful. Now that you heard that and how it feels to you, just take it in for a quick moment, a silent moment. Just the energy of all that. The negativity, the darkness, the history of how things have come about, and the light that has been shed on this particular thing. Take that in for a quick moment. Now I want to read something to you that's going to change the entire dynamic. And it's going to begin to hand you something very, very monumental in your lap. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So everybody in the room say, how huge is it, Keith? Anyone who is watching this broadcast, now or later, if you have confusion about the truth, what is real and what is not, what you want to live in as far as a dynamic and an energy, and what you do not, even though we all may have been doing it but unconsciously, and we want to become conscious about it, that's how big it is. From the divine principle. Excuse me. I'm going to get the correct one. One moment. This is titled, the title of this chapter is called Sandwiched Between God and the Devil. Here's the clarity. Fear contracts, love expands. Fear works from outside to inside, love from inside to outside. Fear is the taker. It draws everything into itself and gives nothing. Fear takes what it can, when it can, to feed a hunger that can never be satisfied. Fear creates judgment, which creates separation. All that love does is give. It nourishes itself, yet has infinite leftovers to offer everyone and everything. Love is never hungry. Love creates acceptance, which creates unity. Love is a fountain of wealth that is endless, eternal. So the question becomes, what is love? Love is not a mere sentiment. It's not something you feel for another person. It can be, but for the sake of this discussion, this presentation, let's put that aside completely, because that's really the superficial, to use the word, layers of what love really is. Love is not an affinity for someone. It's not that kind of thing. It's an experience. Where does that experience take place? Within you. It's a reality. Where does that reality take place? Within you. It's a disposition. It's a way of seeing things. So love is not really these ooey gooey feelings. It's a way of seeing things. It's a way of taking things in. Because I'm in a space of love. I am in love. I don't judge things to be a this or a that. Though we use words to describe a this or a that, that's what not love is not what love is. Love is the energy that is sustaining my life right now. Love is the energy that is allowing you to hear my voice right now. Love is the fact that your body is just inhaling and exhaling. So hum, so hum, so hum. Love is the fact that you're sitting on a chair. Love is the fact that you're staring at your computer or the screen. That's what love is. We just graduated love from being confined and into a box and being with another person to the explosion of infinity. And when we become clear and honest and conscious and rid of fears, there's nothing else. Love that. I want to do one more piece of reading, and then I'm going to get down to the divine principle. I'm trying to find the right piece, because I had so much prepared, and when I get to channeling, I just go where Spirit wants to take me. But there's something I'm feeling that I have to read that congeals the fear as the negative, the neutral ground that I just read a moment ago, and now I need something to complete it. At least I'm thinking. The problem you're having is that you're getting so wrapped up in the drama of life being just too much that you've forgotten to look to me, God, for relief. What I'm trying to do here is unleash my reality within you so that you can have your relief and your fun. I am granting you awareness so that you can finish what we started and experience my glory at a conscious level. All you need to do to be a conscious part of our creation and begin to have my kind of fun is look within your own heart. In this readily available place is where you will find me. As I embody you, you embody God. That is the soul. The soul, S-O-U-L, and the soul, S-O-L-E. That is the sole reason you are here. To activate and anchor the divine upon the earth's physical plane. There's an enormous potential for unpleasant things to manifest in your life. I say this all the time. And I say it all the time because it's very important, because I love you. There's enormous potential for unpleasant things to manifest in your life, but they need not necessarily come into being. Keith, you said it correctly. As love energy continues to lift, all things will quicken into manifestation. So if you wish to avert any adversity, you must clear yourself of any hate, guilt, and fear you are holding on to in these transitional times, dear Lord. If these obstacles are not addressed, trouble will continue to show up for you on a regular basis. As long as humanity is lost in time, all manifestations will seem to come as future occurrences. As long as humanity is lost in time, all manifestations will seem to come as future occurrences. But as you release more fear, the time it takes for you to notice such manifestations will quicken. Once you remove all doubt and mind clutter, will you begin to assume mastership and be able to both manifest what you desire in a holy instant and anchor the divine principles for life. Excuse me, I've been sick. Spirit says, my children, I know that you believe in God, but if you want to help me help you shape the world into something worth living in, it's not enough to simply believe in me. You must know me as I know you. And know that I'm ready to do what I've always done. Work through ordinary people just like you, who are making themselves available to anchor the divine principle. I need some water. Hello, everyone. This is what happened to me when I was writing this book. When I would sit in these modes like I do now. See, y'all, because when I do this, I am so hyper expanded. Because I want it. It's something I've allowed. It's a gate that I open up, and I open it up through mere intention. I'm open. Bring it to me. Whatever the it is, I don't judge it, because judgment is not good. I don't judge it. I allow it to be present, not only in my consciousness, but in my life and in this moment. And I know you feel it. And because you feel it, you're really not getting it from me. All I am doing is calling it up within you. Because if you stand in front of a mirror, you will see yourself. I am that mirror for you. You are that mirror for me. And the fragments of the whole mirror infinitely lives in everyone. So what I'm going to bring forth to you now, I'm going to do a quick refresh just to say hello to those who may have just come on board. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This, believe it or not, this burst of light live is something I've been waiting to bring through for a long time. I've been putting it off because it is the core of the divine principle. It's the heart of the divine principle. It's the heart of the divine principle. So everyone's still doing well? Can I see a thumbs up or a hello, Keith, or everything good? Let me see who's here. I like saying hi. I just got to do it. Oh, here we go. Dana's here. Friend's here. LaDonna's here. Alex is here. What's up, Alex, bro? Alex, let's talk again soon, my friend. Like to see how you're doing. Hello, Sue. Hello, Andrea. Hang it. Okay, y'all. Beginning of this broadcast, I read something that shed light on a dark history, a dark spiritual history. The most honest word I can use is ignorant history. It's not meant with a slant. It's not meant as an offense. It's meant because it's a word that exists in the dictionary that describes something. That's how I mean it. What I'm about to bring forth to you now, big statement. I'm very much aware of that. It's not cockiness. It's not cockiness. It's love. I have something powerful that I'm handing to you. It's not out of arrogance because I'm trying to be right. This is my path. This is my life. This is why I'm here. I know this bones to bones, all the way to my soul, that I've chosen to come here to sit in this chair right now in this moment exactly at 7:38 to look at this document, to have the people who are here in this room and the people who will in the future be watching this broadcast. That is an absolute fact. Here is the divine principle. This chapter is called Opening Up and Grounding the Divine Principle. The divine principle, or the divine principles, because there are 9 of them. Spirit says, since a law is stable and absolute, it cannot be broken. This is what makes it law. If laws can be broken, the universe would shut down. Spiritual law is what maintains universal order and what makes my existence eternal. So many of you are still flouting universal law by following false rulers and thus their false rules, and you have been bending them at that. Can you see how this relates to the trouble you are having? And I say, I am starting to. Will you show me what spiritual law looks like? I will do you one better by giving you the divine principle, my law. Everything that I am, when you live it, when you let it become anchored within you, heaven and earth will be yours. Number 1, choose not to accept defeat. God never accepts defeat. Choose not to accept defeat. The law of all possibilities, pure potentiality, and godhood. Having absolute faith in yourself will enable you to see that miracles can happen to you. This is when you will truly begin to live your life as a God aspirant. You are the miracle maker. You are the miracle maker because the miracles are already there. It's not like God just, I hear you, I believe you, now you've convinced me, let me create something for you. It's not how it works. Everything to be created exists in the field of potentiality. Everything that has already been created exists physically in the universe somewhere. This is what's happening now. And everything is vibrating. God is omnipresent. And so when we begin to live in love modality, that non-judgmental place of a this or of a that, and get out of fear and begin to consciously connect with that which is love itself, where does one aspect of love begin and the other end? It's an oxymoron. It doesn't. The water drop does not know the water drop is not separate from the ocean. Hence, we, the drop, are not separate from the divine ocean. We're not. We're not. Divine principle number 2. Excuse me. Show no intent to control, for any such attempt will defeat you. The law of karma, the law of cause and effect. Through this law, divine order is upheld. As what was said in the beginning of this broadcast, when I first started the reading, we're talking about fear, devil. It's not true. It's not real. It does not work that way. And in fact, this is not intended to debunk or go against the grain of your belief system. There's more to spirituality, whatever your denomination is, than believing. It's not enough. Simply, it's just not enough. As said, what good does reading scriptural text do if you don't experience it. If we're not experiencing it, regardless of the text we're reading, we're not clear about what we read. Show no intent to control, for any such attempt will defeat you. The law of karma, the law of cause and effect. There is no devil that's going to punish you if you die. We're the ones doing it to ourselves. Reap what you sow. Cause and effect, law of karma. Every action is an equal opposite reaction. You can name it what you like, and it's irrelevant. Does not deny the fact that that law is very much in place. You slap someone in the face, you can bet they're going to haul off and slap you back. That's called instant karma. Divine order, this law, is what keeps everything into place. It is the supervisor. It's the glue. It's that which moves everything in accordance to balance. It shows this to this person does this, it shows this to this person. We all become reflections, and everything on the outside, the cosmic tapestry, the planetary tapestry, your local tapestry with the people that you have in your proximity, just your personal space. It's all being shown. That's the law. And we try to control people. Of course, they don't like it. You think it's going to work? They're going to leave. Through this law, divine order is upheld. Number 3, choose. Big one for many people. Dear Lord, I learned the hard way. This is how I got on this path. Choose not to place your happiness in the hands of another person, nor the temporal world. The law of self-fulfillment through God, the source of all life and happiness. The law of no external idol worship given to you by Moses. When our happiness is invested in a thing, or people, love relationships, and as a wren, all of our happiness leaves. And inside of ourselves we fall. And it creates emotional pain. Be okay if they left. Because that is what love is. So what do you call that other thing? It's called attachment. It's called needing. It's not balance. Because if you were balanced, when they left, you wouldn't be falling. So I'm not quite so sure about the statement, falling in love. It's different than that. I would choose to be with someone I just like. That means I can be around them all the time. Because we can and move away from people we love and love them from a distance. Puts a new spin on everything entirely, doesn't it? Number 4, choose to reach for the ideal self by turning inward to move forward. This is the law of observation. Getting out of the fight. Fighting the world. Fighting with your loved ones. Fighting the terrorism. Fighting the politics. Fighting this. Fighting, watching the news. It's fighting, it's fighting, and fighting. It's all an internal bickering. And it's the noise, and it's the noise. And that noise is drowning out our essence of being an observer. Just watching it all. The same position spirit takes. Just the observer, because spirit is in love. And when we are in love, we're just observing. We're not labeling. We're not judging. And then the vision gets greater. And the capacity to feel gets greater. And the capacity to feel greater vibrations and depths of love gets greater. And next thing you know, you expand. And you realize that the person that you're having a relationship breakup with, even in their leaving, they're not leaving because there is no disconnect. Disconnect is perception. It's judgment. It's an illusion. It's erroneous. Choose to reach for the ideal self by moving inward to move forward. The law of observation. Learning to remember creates regeneration, expansion, and conscious spiritual evolution. Put some more of that on my bread. Number 5, pray and meditate daily, the law of giving and receiving. Prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening. When these two are practiced together, you and I communicate, says Spirit. Prayer is giving. When you pray, you help heal someone or give them something they may be in need of. Giving is receiving. When you give, you affirm that you have an abundance to share and the gift becomes your own. Meditation is receiving. When you meditate, the soul's wisdom is revealed to you and the potential for betterment becomes clear. Receiving is giving. When you receive something gratefully, it allows another to feel the joy of giving. Thus is abundance spread. Number 6, the divine principle. Show intent to embrace, understand, and transcend your fear, what we talked about at the very beginning. This is the law of divinity and free will choice. Aligning with God rewards you with everlasting peace. Who does not want a piece of that? The law of divinity and free will choice. Show intent to embrace, understand, and transcend your fear. Aligning with God rewards you with everlasting peace. Number 7, become fully aware of what you are thinking and feeling. For this will launch you into your mastery as creator. We have no thought. We're in the void of feeling. Keith, that sounds dead. No. That's exactly what it isn't. You're alive. Because in that void is no thing, nothing, because God is no thing. It's nothing. It's zero. Look at the yin-yang symbol. It's called balance. And if you look up the definition of zero in the dictionary, it's the point on a positive and negative scale where all things are reckoned. Where everything comes to a space of void. There's no thought, there's no feeling. Now, that being said, you sit in that void long enough, you will feel something. You will feel something so subtle, and in the subtleness of this feeling is everything. It's the power. It's creator. So, are you disconnected from the source of love? That would be the utmost arrogance. Because to assume that we would be disconnected, an individual, and removed from the presence and the life-sustaining source, that we could do it on our own, it's impossible. So in the void, that's the zone where nothing is happening. That's the field of pure potentiality. God is a living, conscious, expanding field of pure potentiality. And when you tap into it, you will know that. Law number 7. I just read that. Become fully aware of what you're thinking and feeling, for this will launch you into your mastery as creator. It's the law of the I. When you're aware of awareness, you're conscious of consciousness. Number 8. Get out of victimization. If you believe in any part of your life that you were victimized, or that you can be a victim, or in the future, dear Lord, if something happens and you claim you're a victim, you will be, as long as your creative energies are pouring into the wish of declaring it so. But Keith, this son of a bitch did this to me the other day. Well, I get it. But if you ever want to get out of the fight and out of the scenario and the pattern, you have to take responsibility for it. Well, maybe if I didn't go to this place where such things happen, that's one example of how you take responsibility. Because if you take 100% responsibility, then you are 100% responsible to ensure that nothing like this will ever happen to you again. Law number 8. Divine principle number 8, along with law number 8. Take responsibility for your life, for it is of your creation. All of it. The law of deliberate creativity. This is living laws number 1 and number 7. And finally, Don't let the outside world of those people who are living in the metaculture of fear grown in petri dishes and churches where people should not go for spiritual sustenance, don't let them fool you. It's not a judgment on my part. It's an absolute supportive point. Now, I say this as a precursor, a preface to what I'm going to offer you now, which is the final divine principle. Hear it from the space that it's meant. Take in all the information, go give it a once over that I brought through for this broadcast to this point. Divine principle number 9. Claim your part in the whole by realizing who you are. You are God. I am you. This is the law of self-enlightenment. Acknowledging God as omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. The divine source principle embodied within all things. Inherent in each of these laws is the whole of the divine principle. It will take your heart to fully comprehend them because they are formless above and beyond language. But the sooner you begin to open yourself up to them, ground them, and master them, the sooner you can come home. There is no need to wait until death for life, for living by my divine principles will grant you life throughout your life. I want to be clear about the I am God disposition. It is a truth. It is the truth, and the truth will set you free. It's not out of an arrogance. It's not. It's about a marriage. It's about a mission. It's about an intention. It's about sincerity. It's about a covenant. Not only that I'm making, that I'm allowing to live inside of me. So the statement that people in the New Age movement say, I am God, is not that which most people from a fundamental background think. And you're soiling it when you do that. And you're sullying it. And you're dirtying it. And you're making something beautiful not nice. Quit it. Step out from under your ignorance and show your spirituality the respect it really deserves. Follow your deity by all means, because the purpose of your chosen deity was to show you the way to the grocery store, to the spiritual Kroger, by their example. So when we begin to live in the modality of I am God, as the final divine principle states, it's not about being lost in an illusion or some New Age mumbo jumbo. If this is a person's belief, they are very uninformed. It's about claiming your divinity. How else will Creator that lives in all of us step forward onto the earth plane so the prophecy of heaven on earth can come about into a state of fruition if we don't pull that source of consciousness, love, and allowance through our own selves and allow it to be anchored on the earth? Hence the name of the book, The Divine Principle That Lives in Everyone. And we anchor it on earth individually and collectively by following the models in the book. Follow your deity. It's never meant or asked. And you should not ever change your chosen deity. That's not what it's about. In fact, it's about it's not about keeping your deity at arm's length at Sunday, or whatever synagogue or Muslim you go to, Muslim synagogue or temple or church that you attend. That's not what it's about. It's greater than that. It is taking your deity, your chosen deity, and bringing it here. And I don't mean just in the form of a concept. Just as what was said in any particular scriptural book, and I believe it, and I kind of follow it, and that's what I believe. It's not enough. It's about taking the divine that your deity has reflected to you to help you see a pattern of good behavior or how to expand yourself into the movement, be it Christianity, be it Buddhism, be it Hinduism, whatever the sect or religion or code is. That's all irrelevant. It's never been about the deity. That would be conceit. Look at me, I am the deity. You will never find a deity with that kind of attitude. Never. It's never happened. And if they did, they're not a deity that one should be following. So it's about taking your deity and getting to know it so well that it becomes you. And as you amalgamate, integrate, and unify, we become the divine principle anchored on heaven, anchoring heaven on earth. And when we do that, simply by living your life, being in a room with people, changes the whole tone. It changes the whole experience because we become a burst of light simply by our being. And forever, you find trouble just simply leave your life. How can a dark show up with someone who's illuminated? And if dark does show up, it becomes illuminated because we're no longer seeing it as difficulty, but we're seeing it as an opportunity for anyone who is boogered by it so they can expand like an explosion, because that's what truth is. Truth is not a tincture, it's not a band-aid, it's not a salve. It's a head knocker, it's a heart opener to bring us to an expanded state, hence the reason the truth was brought to one's life in the first place. That's what truth does, that's what truth is. If everything was peachy, easy peasy all the time, we'd be living in divine truth. Hence the reason trouble comes along and knocks us on our head and kicks us in our ass. So when we embrace our deity to the level, embrace ourselves, because initially, from our essence, even initially all the way to the ending, the beginning and the end, so if God is the Alpha and the Omega, what does that make everything in the middle? It's all one sentence that comes to an end after a period, after a time period. So when we go inside and embrace that aspect of our most authentic, powerful self, that which we came from, spirit, broke a piece off itself, put it in the body, and we're born in the earth plane. We're trying to get back there consciously, but we can do that in the body. That is the whole purpose of Jesus' life. Vertical plane, heaven comes down, earth plane goes across, and he's crucified. And look where they intersect. Right there. Heaven on earth, the prophecy of heaven on earth. That's who we are. That is the truth, and the truth will set you free. Go back to the segment of the divine principles that I read probably 15 minutes ago. Use them in your life. I promise you. Again, you're not broken. It has nothing to do with any of that. I stumbled upon something when I stubbed my toe. And somebody handed me something. And I am not the only one. You are not the only one for those who are following this life. I'm going to say lifestyle. This truth. It's changing the world. You see it everywhere. It's everywhere. Because those who have been sleeping, we all are awakening. We all are awakening. The truth does not need permission to exist. Get out of the fight in every aspect of your life. Stop fighting yourself, the world, the politics, the terrorism, the racism, the government. Just get out of fighting. And stay focused on task of that which you want versus that which you don't want. So instead of, I no longer choose this, that's still watering the weed. Turn to the plant and say, this is what my life is about. And I'm now going to choose to embrace everything without judgment. Because in embracing everything, you embrace the all, the omnipresent, that is alive and is the fire that's manifesting itself and sustaining all of creation. And you're a part of that pie. Thank you for joining me for the Divine Principle Anchoring Heaven on Earth, my bestseller. Again, you can find more about my work at keithanthonyblanchard.com or centeroflightradio.com. Check out the links I put in the feed. There's like maybe 6 or 7 of them of all of my work, and a lot of it can come to you for free. So that's my presentation. If anyone has anything you want to bring forth, I'll take a quick Q&A. Things are changing, y'all. 2018 is big. Big. Let me see who's in the room. Do a refresh so I can say hello. Fran, Gloria, Sylvia, Alex, Sue. Dana said, loved this broadcast. I'm glad that massaged your heart, dear. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Dana. Hello, Sylvia. Who else is in here? Cutting up. So I'm going to pause for a second, see if I get any comments or questions. Or it's all you, man. Chick. Dude. Sweetheart. It's all you. There's nothing else. There are other individuals that share life experiences with us. That's one layer. Peel that layer back, there's something else. Peel that layer back, there's your deceased loved ones. Peel that layer back, there's another cosmic experience with higher extraterrestrials. You peel that layer back, there's the angelic realm. You peel that layer back, you keep descending and descending into your consciousness and into that Stargate. You're walking through the golden door. Because every intentional step you take to do that, until you come up to the door, you begin to literally knock on the golden door, and it goes. And it gives you an invitation. Welcome. Take your shoes off. Make yourself at home. You have arrived to eternity. Keith, can it really be that simple? It is that simple. It is truly that simple. So if it's that simple, why is it so difficult for me? That's the question no one can ever answer for you. And don't let anyone ever answer that for you. If it is truly, Keith, that simple, why is it so challenging for me or difficult for me? Could it be because of the very thought that such things of a simplistic nature is hard? Could be one reason. But it will reflect to you, asking that question, if it's truly that easy, why is it so difficult for me? Asking that question of yourself reveals the answer just like that. And you know it. The thought happens. Boom. Fran says the book is really helpful, especially with these lessons. Oh, thank you, dear. I appreciate it. One final broadcast. One final refresh. And I'm going to sign off. So, again, I appreciate you. Happy New Year to you. Hold on tight, y'all. Actually, take the seatbelt off. Now it's time to take the seatbelt off. Because holding on and using that seatbelt to strap you in is a form of control. I want you to control my experience when you could have been lunged metaphorically forward to something grand. But we strap down. We don't want that because we like the same old, same old. We like security. Hence the seatbelt. I'm not referring to riding an automobile and you know it. I'm talking metaphorically that we like being controlled. We like being comfortably planted. We like being safe. Sometimes things can happen in a grand way that is wild and not so safe. Take risk. Smart risk. you know what kind of risk I'm speaking of. Gloria says the illusion of control. Dear Lord, it's an illusion. And we still fall into it. I still fall into it. But I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. No, I am better at it. I am better at it. I am better at it. Not knowing what to expect on the other side. We like security. We like security. But that's not where the good stuff is. Take that seatbelt off for 2018 and allow it to thrust you forward. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm doing. Sylvia says that's why it's hard to transition to the other side. That is exactly right, Sylvia. And here's something I would like to offer you, said by Buddhist monks. Buddhist monks. Well, who are they? Well, the Buddhist monks, who are people since children, they live their whole life in prayer and meditation with the heartfelt, sincere, open intention of being in the presence, being with the presence of God. That's what Buddhist monks do. That's why they're humbled. That's why they're nonviolent. They're connected consciously to the live stream and they know it. And it is them. And they are it. So they say, to support Sylvia, that's why it's hard to transition to the other side. That when a person is passing, please consider to use no drugs. Let them be as conscious as possible in the passing. So there's no dizziness, no fog, no slumber, no sleep in the transitional period. So that when they transition, they're just awake. There's no hiccup. There's no, I'm here on earth in this body, blackout. Now I'm awakening to this thing, because it creates a different vibrational tone and it can lower your potential to be into a somewhat even higher strata. Stay conscious. Hence the word consciousness, which God is, infinite consciousness. So the more conscious we are in our transition to be birthed back to the divine, because that's where we came from. We were earthed from the divine, and now we want to be birthed to the divine. Earthed from the divine and birthed to the divine. So when we stay conscious, the transition is seamless. Thank you for that marathon that you inspired in me, Sylvia. I said a lot of things were said that I need to hear again from me to integrate. So when I do this is all new for me as well. All for me as well. Final refresh. Thank you, Gloria. So everyone, my name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. I appreciate you being here as you always are. It fills my heart as you always do. And finally, again, to support my work, check out those links I posted in the feed in the comment box. Support what I do. It's part of my lifestyle and what allows me to continue to do this full time, as to why I can have this fun conversation with you and not really have to charge money for it. So your support in what I do means a lot to me. It's the divine principle anchoring heaven on earth, no pun intended. But yet, take care.